Today is Wednesday, July the 6th. It's about 9:30 in the morning. Starting this hike in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness, which is pretty much western Washington. It's right in the middle of the Cascades. It comprises 415,000 acres and is divided into two national forests, the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest and the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. So there's this particular hike, it's called the I-90 Lakes Tour. I don't know if that's an official name, but that's what I'm calling it, because there's about it's a half dozen different trails that I'm taking, and there's about a dozen lakes, give or take, along this route I'm taking. So this route, it's about 27 miles long. I'm gonna go down and back, so I'm gonna double that in about 4 or 5 days, just depending on how many side trails I take. At the longest, 5 days. But this is a real pretty area. Right now at the trailhead, there's only like a half a dozen cars there. There's a lot of little day hikes off of that trailhead. So far out here, I haven't seen anyone. I haven't seen anyone yet, and I really doubt I will. I'm not sure this is that popular of a hike. I don't know. Just from the reviews and stuff I read online. My hike started at an elevation of 2,300 feet. I think the highest point is Mount Defiance, which is right around, I'm rounding off, it's right about 5,500 feet. But there's a lot of seesawing up and down. So according to Gaia GPS, when I mapped this out, like my total ascension for this whole hike was going to be 22,000 feet. So that's a lot of climbing, but I'm up for it. But it's real pretty. I'm following a creek, which is called Denny Creek right now. And that is, it's real pretty area. Really dense through here. Hoping to see some wildlife. The temperature is going to be in the 50s during the day, most of the time. Probably see a lot of rain today and tomorrow morning. And it's going to be typically in the 40s at night, is what I saw. So good backpacking weather. So we'll see how this one goes. Here's a cool stream crossing. Looks a little slippery. It's a real pretty area. We'll see how this works. Pretty stable. It's not as slick as I thought. Real pretty creek though. Look at that. Yeah, this log's pretty stable too. Well, not real stable, it's rocking a little bit. Not too bad. Just gotta find the trail. Look at that waterfall. Got some snow melting right there. Look at this waterfall. Beautiful, huh? There's some runoff. Gotta walk through this stuff. Still a lot of snow on the trail too. Pretty solid still too. I ran into a couple. They were just day hiking over to that waterfall that I filmed earlier, which I'm way above that now. But they were just out with their dog. They're a young couple from Seattle. But other than that, that's the only people I've seen out here so far. So that's good. That's why I'm out here. How's that for a mountain view? Pretty nice. So this is the first lake I'm coming to. This is Malacqua Lake. I'm gonna take a little break here. Just a small little alpine lake. Real pretty. Sun's starting to come out too. So this is the lower Tuscahatchee Lake. Of course, it's raining right now, so it's just a stop. I got about 3 more miles to go. See if I can get under this tree to where, yeah, not too bad. It's a real pretty lake. It's a shame it's raining right now, but Lake Tuscahatchee. And yeah, so here in this area, I'm directly west of Snoqualmie Pass. That's about where I'm at, north of I-90, but west of the pass. If you're looking on a map, you'd understand where I'm at. But ooh, cool! I just saw a fish jump in the water. Too bad I didn't get that footage. But yeah, so far it's been an awesome day. This is the first time it's rained just now, and ran into just a couple people on the last lake I was at, but they were just day hikers. Haven't seen anybody overnighting yet, but I've got to head north. Yeah, this looks very dangerous. There's no way I'm walking across that guy. It's soaking wet. If I fall there, I'm gonna be messed up. So, a little bit upstream. Oh my God, these rocks are slick too. It looks a little bit easier up there. And if I fall, it'll probably just hurt my pride and I'll get wet. But that looks awful. So I'll take my chances up here. There's another pretty lake out in the middle of nowhere. This is Windy Lake. I don't know why it would be windy because it's like completely enclosed. But, well, this is Lake Kaliton. It's going to be my home for the night. And there's nobody out here. And I'm way out here. Neat little meadow. You can see where this creek, where this lake is draining. That's real pretty. And this is going to be my campsite for the night right here. And over here behind it, you can see the stream. So I got a good water source. It's real pretty too. But here. Here's the stream coming from that lake. Makes its way around here, right to these logs. So I don't have to go far for water. All right, so I'm gonna set up camp before it starts raining, because it probably will. Well, you can see the snow up there at the top of this mountain. Too bad all these clouds are here. I bet that'd be a pretty sight. Well, looks like those clouds did clear up, so you can see the mountains around me. Pretty neat. Still cloudy, but it's still very pretty. Got my tent set up, getting ready to eat. I've got these Peak refuels. These are delicious, and they are loaded with calories. This one actually has 1,040 calories. That's pretty darn good. And this one is beef pasta marinara, and I'm heating the water up for it right now. These are freeze-dried meals. And this one only takes 8 ounces of water, which I am boiling right now in this little Jetboil stash. Let's see, it's got isobutane fuel, and it is getting hot right now. You can't see the flame, but it is burning. But it'll boil in just a couple minutes at max, especially only 8 ounces. It's not very much. But I'm starving. I can't wait to eat. There is a bear, and hey bear, just eating. And he is looking at me. Hopefully there's no cubs. And okay, neat. Not sure the protocol here, but I am going to get my bear spray out. Go on. Yep, he smells my dinner cooking, I'm sure. But I don't see any cubs, so that's kind of a good deal. But he is, you see, here's my tent. He's definitely close, and I don't really like it, but go on, boy. I mean, I'm sure he's used to people being out here, but that kind of creeped me out, just seeing him out of the corner of my eye. Yep. He's not that big, but big enough. So I don't want any part of him. So I'll definitely be hanging my food tonight, that's for sure. There's not really any good, these are all pines, so there's not really any good long branches to hang things on. Oh, pretty cool though. Very first night, I got a bear in my camp. Hopefully he's walking off. Let's see, yeah, I got it zoomed in all the way. Hate to have to give up my food on my first night. But I really wish he would leave. He's getting a good whiff of my food. And he wants it. All right, so he's gone. So let's hope he stays that way. It looks like he is still in my camp. I got my food hung, but he's hanging around. I hope he's the only one. He's the only one I see. Yeah. Well, probably not going to be a very good night for sleep if I got to worry about this bear getting in my camp. But he's not scared. Usually they're pretty skittish, but not this guy. He's still hanging out. Probably waiting for me to go to bed so he can eat me. Well, I don't see our bear hiding in the bush anymore. He's staying out of sight, so. Looks like he might have been eating something over there. So I hope that he doesn't think that I want it. But he's not over there anymore. But yeah, it definitely looked like he was munching on something earlier. But he's gone now. So maybe I made him uncomfortable. Who knows? But yeah, I was just looking at the map. Looks like I did 14 miles today. I was wondering why it took me so long, but it was 14. It was pretty tough 14. The last part of it anyway. But the last 7 miles were mostly uphill. Tomorrow I think is should be right at 10 miles, almost exactly. Got my belly full, got my food hung, so the bear can't get it, if indeed that's what he's after. But hoping for a good night's sleep. Well, it is 8:30 in the morning. I'm all packed up and getting ready to leave our Kaliton Lake. And definitely the prettiest lake I've seen so far. Didn't hear from our friend last night. I heard something stomping around in the water about 6:30 this morning, but it was pouring down rain. So I had to get, I'm actually starting much later than I anticipated. I was waiting for the rain to pass, or hopefully pass. I still had to pack up when it was drizzling, but it's quit raining now. It's Lake Kaliton. This is awesome. It's a nice spot. It's really remote. It's about 4 miles off the main trail, and this doesn't get used very often. And that's probably why I had a bear in my camp. But I don't know, made things exciting. So anyway, I survived the night. Didn't sleep too bad. Didn't sleep too great, but not that bad. But yeah, off for another day. It's a thick fog covering this mountainside. And this whole trail is very narrow. You probably can't tell how steep this is in the video, but I mean, if you lose your footing on this trail, you are going to take a long, long ride down to the bottom. This is one of those precarious spots. Got this big blowdown that fell right over the trail. And it's too difficult to get around right there, so I got to go down to that rock right there and step over. But yeah, to slip and go down that, no fun. There's a bunch of these blowdowns on this trail that you got to go around. The Forest Service, because this is national forest, not national park, and it requires a fee to be here, but it's money well spent because they do a darn good job. It's the Northwest Forest Service. I mean, it's great. It is like a national park through here. It's nice. It really is. They do a great job in trying to keep these trails clear. So I have no problem paying for the permit. This is Pratt Lake. I took a break down there earlier on the north side. There were some people camping, so I didn't get out the phone to record any video. I didn't want to disturb them, but boy, this is a real pretty sight. Real pretty lake. This is a Rainbow Lake. Still got a lot of snow around it. It's a little bit smaller than some of the lakes we've seen today, but yeah, this is nice. So far so good today. Had some really good weather. A lot of snow this past couple hours. I've had a lot of snow that I've had to cross. A lot of times you'll have water running underneath it, so you'll post hole. You'll run your foot right through it, and all of a sudden you'll fall through about a foot. This is Mason Lake, and there is probably, I looked around, probably a dozen or more campsites around this lake. I heard it was a pretty popular spot, but there is no one here again. And I haven't set up my tent yet. I got some sunshine, so just laid out some stuff to dry in the sun, which it's drying out really quick. Got a nice little setup there. There's no perfect spots in this campground. There's something wrong with every tent site. Like there may be some rocks that you might have to set your tent on. Might be some roots, or you might have to put your tent at an angle. This one I chose roots. And what's nice is all this soft duff. I can walk around barefooted and let my feet dry out. Yeah, I've got some black toenails from another hike. Right, this is day 3. We got a short hike this morning. It's only 6 miles. But the highest point of this trail is it's just a couple miles away. It's Mount Defiance. It's at rounding off, it's at about 5,500 feet. Buried under all this snow, there's a trail somewhere. So much for my clear day, but still pretty decent view. I'm at 5,100 feet right now. Well, here I am at the very tip top of Mount Defiance, 5,500 feet. And as you can see, you can't see. There's a little bit. That's where I stayed last night. That's Mason Lake down there. And you can see some of the hillside. I was camped out on that side of it, right about there. There is so much snow on this downhill slope. Going down is very, very tricky. This stuff is slick. So I had to get out my micro spikes. And the snow on this trail, as you can see, is probably at least right there. That's probably 6 foot deep. And I just got to walk this all the way down. Obviously, there's no way I can see a trail. I just got to hope for the best. I do have GPS, so that'll keep me approximately where I need to go. But thank God I brought the micro spikes for this, because this would be absolutely dangerous going downhill on all this stuff, because some of it is as hard as a rock and slick as can be. And these trekking poles. I remember when I was young, I used to laugh at the idea of carrying trekking poles, but they are awesome. I mean, they are knee savers, and definitely going downhill. If you want to stay upright, you need trekking poles. They have saved me, just on this trip alone, probably well over a dozen times. I've lost count how many times you slip and catch yourself with trekking poles. They're amazing. They really are. Especially as you get older, they are knee savers, big time. I mean, this is actually kind of cool. All this snow is probably, I mean, you could see, I mean, there's a lot of places it's 10 feet deep or more. And I mean, obviously you can't stay on a trail, but you can stay on these high ridges. I know I've got to go to Thompson Lake. So I'm just going to head straight for it. You know, the trail at this point is not an issue. Too bad I don't have some skis or a snowboard. Look at this. This was obviously an avalanche from all the trees that are laying over. I mean, there's a bunch of them. The sun's trying to peek out a little bit. That's kind of cool. But this is obviously a lot of fun and pretty freaking cool. I decided to walk off trail a little bit so I could go over this ridge and take a peek on the other side. Look at that. I've got to follow it around over here. Thank God I made it out of the snow. That was downright dangerous, probably. I had to walk along a ridge the entire time. And there was a ton of snow, and that ridge was very steep. So a lot of times when you're on a ridge that steep, they have a little trail cut out, but the trail was just, I mean, you couldn't find it. It was impossible. I mean, it was buried under, you know, in some cases 10 feet of snow. So I had to go take the route I could take. And I ended up a couple 100 feet lower than I needed to be. I got down on the ridge and ran into a spot that was way too steep. I could not pass it at all. So I had to climb up and bushwhack, literally with my hands. I had to set my trekking poles in the pack and climb with my hands and feet up a ridge, several hundred feet, just to find a way to get, so I could make it further across that ridge. And finally I ran into some snow melt where you could actually start to make out the trail. And that was pretty creepy. I was getting a little nervous there for a little bit. I will definitely not be going back that way. I think it's too dangerous. And so I'll just, there's another trailhead called the Granite Creek Trailhead at the end of this trail. If I keep going past Thompson Lake, which is where I'm going to stay tonight, I can make it up to that trail and catch a ride back to my car at the other side. So that'll be my plan now. So this will be my last night tonight. It's just, I only had, give you an idea, see, I only had 5.7 miles to go today. It's already 1:30. I'm still not there. That's how long it took me to get through all that snow. And don't feel like doing that again. So here we are. You can see Thompson Lake through the trees here. The sky looks pretty big, but I'm glad I am almost here. Here I am at Thompson Lake. I think we're at 3,600 feet, if I remember correctly. It's a really pretty area. Bunch of waterfalls up in the distance. There's two there. There's another one up there. Really neat. Well, tonight's menu is sweet pork and rice. This is another one of those peak meals. And this one is 800 calories. It's pretty darn good. Wow, the sun came out this evening for a little bit. Look how beautiful this is. Look at that. I'm all alone on this side of the lake. Got some Department of Natural Resources people working on the other side. They're camped in that area over there. And one of them actually had like an inflatable canoe. He's out there on the water right now. But I got to talk to him for a little bit. But this lake is beautiful. Hard to believe that just earlier this afternoon that I was fighting 10 feet of snow and in a really precarious position. But I'm glad I made it down here. I'm not going back that way. I was able to get a hold of Jenny. There's no self-service out here, obviously, but with my Garmin in reach, I was able to get a hold of Jenny and text her to pick me up at a trailhead that's on down past this lake, so I don't have to go back. So she's going to pick me up tomorrow at noon. I'm going to have to cut it short, but I think that's the safest route. I do not want to go and scale that ridge again under all that snow. That was pretty creepy. Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful clear morning. Got my camp all packed up, getting ready to head out. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I gotta be at the trailhead by noon. That'll give me an hour to spare. Got a little bit of a climb. Like I said, we're at 3,600 feet right now. I gotta climb and get over that ridge, and then it's all downhill from there, like about 3,600 feet downhill. So should be a pretty easy day, hopefully. But boy, what a trip. What an exciting trip. It's been a good one. And I ought to come back to this lake because it is really, really nice. And like I said, nobody's here except for the workers at DNR, which I thank them for all the great trail work they do over here. which they do a good job. Until next time.